Oh, I gotta take his comment off. Hold on before we start. All ball TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
Yeah. I see you in here early, Monkey Wrench. Huh? Fading perspective. Knicks rehab. Oh, ball. Dame dato.
Listen, man, you know the drill. If it ain't all ball TV, I don't know what it is. Let's get right to it, man.
We got to get right to it. It's been the last couple days speculating, the rumors, trying to get it together. We've been arguing about or deliberating about OG Anunoby, Hartenstein, and who's worth the keep. And man, after this news today, though, makes it a little bit tougher. OG Anunoby is rumored to sign a major deal with us, the New York Knicks. And let me get this going for you guys. Sorry about that. He's rumored to sign with us for $140 or $150, 150 million.
4 years.
4 years. And that wasn't the major news for us because we kind of like seen that in speculation. Over here, it was some 140, 150 is a speculation. But the other news, aside from the amount he can get, is should things come down to OG Anunoby going to the 76ers or the Knicks offering a max deal, New York will not let their two-way forward leave for their immediate rivals. The Knicks would match any offer and keep Anunoby out of Philadelphia's hands. That's Brett Siegel from Clutch Points. They also added the Knicks may consider trading Julius Randle to ensure they can re-sign OG Anunoby. New York is going to do everything in their power to make retaining Anunoby their priority, sources said, regardless of whether other teams drive his price up. In doing so, this may lead to the team strongly entertaining the idea of a trade involving Julius Randle, not only for roster purposes, but as a cost-saving move as well. I heard the bell. Where's my guy? He's in the building. Big Flea. Aside from that, shout out to Knicks recap.
Flea, what up, baby?
Yo, my sound is bad, fellas, but I just wanted to tap in real fast and just show my brother some love real quick. I'm on the move, so I'm here in spirit, but my sound is not good. So we're not gonna ruin the broadcast because of Flea. So I'm in the building, but I'm in the back.
Yo, does that headphones have a mic on it?
It does.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's hooked up to the mic. I think that's the only thing you're missing with those headphones.
I'm gonna mess with it, but I ain't gonna mess up the bro.
All right, Flea, you go in and out. Hit us up.
Let's go.
All right. And the other, hey, why you do that? I want to tap in with a guy here. Shout out to Knicks recap. Amazing. He does amazing work. He brings up an Ian Begley report. Ian Begley reports to SNY and the Knicks. He gets into a little more detail about the OG Anunoby contract and what it entails, or what they're thinking about right now.
Was to Anunoby's new deal. Let's go ahead and break down Begley's latest report here. Shout out to Ian Begley for giving us the following information. He answered a question about OG Anunoby on his following mailbag edition, and he gave us the following update. He states, "What's up, Cooler?" That's the guy who asked the question. "The Knicks don't need to fully guarantee Anunoby's new deal. If I had to guess, they'll look to put some injury protections in the contract. But Anunoby should have other suitors in the market. We've noted that Philadelphia could pursue Anunoby. If the Sixers make an offer to Anunoby at a certain dollar amount or without the injury protections, maybe it forces the Knicks to sign Anunoby without any protections added." And as we've mentioned a number of times on the show already, OG Anunoby's new contract is expected to reach 35 to 40 million annually, according to Fred Katz of The Athletic. Anunoby receiving 150 plus million this summer isn't out of the realm of possibilities. All indications are that the Knicks will pay Anunoby whatever it takes to re-sign him. Here's how I see things. OG Anunoby, any discounted deal you thought he was going to give the Knicks, that's now gone. With the number of teams that are interested in Anunoby, they're going to offer him a lot of money.
So we'll end it there. I got the link in the description to our guy there, the Knicks recap. He dedicates the whole day, all his videos to updating us with the Knicks. I want to show him some love, and I have his link in the description. Like I said, all ball. What do you think about what you heard so far?
It's getting spooky out here. I just want to say, big shout out to Flea. When we was talking about possibly re-signing OG, Flea was the first I heard say we don't want OG going to a Philly, a Indiana, a Milwaukee. So just so y'all understand, Knicks Rehab, these are things we talk about before everybody else. So please give us our props, but much props to our brother Flea. I don't like it. I hope the reports is fake as far as the Julius Randle thing. I don't like how that came out. As far as we may move Julius Randle to free up some things for OG, and no, I don't like that. This is business, man. I like that. I like those incentives with the injury because once again, he's injury prone. But I'm gonna say this. This is gonna ruffle some feathers. Is OG worth all this? I think that's a legit question. I'm a big OG fan. Remember, Faye, when the trade first happened, everybody was asking why was I so excited. Remember, me and Flea went back and forth because he thought Scotty Barnes was better than OG. And what I was saying, I said, I'm telling you, Flea, he's not. But this is almost the Knicks reverting back to the old Knicks. Slow down a little bit. I love OG. He's not the top 10 superstar. And that's the problem that these reports is making me feel like. Now we thinking about trading Julius Randle, who I'm not a big Julius Randle fan, but he grew on me and I respect him. He was here when the ship was sinking. He helped save the ship. Don't do that to him. I don't like those reports. I don't like what I'm hearing. But I'm scared to give OG that 150. Do I want to see him go to Philly, to our nemesis, right across the street? No. But at the end of the day, we a hot spot now. I don't think it's going to be a problem for us to get good players, even great players. I think we need to be very careful and cautious right now. Yes, I want OG back. I want Hartenstein back. I want everybody back. But at what cost? At what cost? These guys are injury prone from non-contact. Non-contact. We have a superstar that he has nagging injuries. Come on, man. This young man, Brunson, holds it down all season. We need guys to hold it down for 2-3 games and they can't stay healthy. So I don't like these reports. It's now putting the Knicks on the hot seat. I'm being honest. 140, I'm fine with that. 30, 35 a year. When we start going past the 150, 160, come on, bro. Come on now. I don't know. I'm at a loss for words, Fade. I'm being honest because I'm scared we give everybody what they want and then now nobody can stay healthy. Then what? Now we back looking crazy in the streets. Now we back crying and complaining. I want to ask you, is OG Anunoby worth all of this?
2 words. Hell yeah.
Okay.
You kidding me? First and foremost, like you said, Flea is correct. Hit it on the nose. This report proves Flea is a guru. I don't want to say what he should do with his job. They love him over there. He's doing a great job, more than likely. But the Knicks need to hire him. Somebody in the NBA needs to hire him. He knows what's going on because this confirms everything. You can't just trade RJ Barrett, IQ, 2 homegrown products, and then you get OG Anunoby for him, and he literally single-handedly turned the team around. Like, we went from competing with everybody, making a scenario where we can come out of the first round, second round, competing with anybody in the Eastern Conference, to flat out, in my opinion, a championship contender. The only team that scared me midway through, and I think I said it midway through, was the Dallas Mavericks, because we lost to them when they had Luka Doncic out and Kyrie was by himself. They smoked us. So that showed me a lot. That means we can beat any team out there, and they're going all in. This is a great decision. You made a decision, and you're going hard on it. And I understand the history of it, but the Knicks do too. They feel the same way I do, if not more, about OG Anunoby. And this totally confirms what I believe in OG Anunoby. They know what's going on with him. This is Luol Deng, maybe 2.0, and then some. Tom Thibodeau guy. And he means, I don't want to say he's more valuable in their mind than Julius Randle because of the history. Like Julius Randle just said today, I'll play it in a second. I was here when we were winning 15 games a year, right? So he has our hearts now because he started the race for us. But come on, man, we're talking about talent. Also, for them to say and report that they have protections on the contract for his injuries, that's major, because that's something that we didn't do. We never looked out for protection for injured players. The Amari Stoudemire thing stands out.
Exactly.
Antonio McDyess stands out. And, we had situations where we could have amnestied Chauncey Billups or amnestied Amari Stoudemire after we gave him a contract, and we never did that. So they're thinking very much about the salary cap. They're thinking about the fact that, hey, let's put the rumor out there that we may not sign him or whatever it is and see what he's going for. This confirms, I would have to believe, that other teams would put up big money just to fleece us. So we cannot downgrade, and Flea is totally right. We can't just let him go and allow the Pacers, the 76ers, the Bucks. Who else is on the cusp right now? Those teams right there.
Miami.
Miami's getting rid of
Orlando.
Imagine if Orlando got him. So Miami also. You can't ever let him go with Eric Spoelstra. No way, no how. Right? So I'm okay with that, man. I really am. I think the Julius Randle talk also, it has to happen. He's been part of the trade rumors.
Hold on, let me ask you a question. Hold on. Give me your honest opinion. If put yourself in Julius Randle's shoes, what is going on in your head right now? Pause.
Naturally, you're gonna have thoughts like, what else do I have to do for this team? No matter what the Knicks message is, as a human being, you sit alone in your house, you look in the mirror, you walking down the block, wherever you work out, it doesn't matter. That thought has to cross your mind. They might be trying to trade me, man, after all I did for them. You have to exercise that thought. There's no way that's not crossing his mind. It's just, he's human. But he went from CAA to whatever agency his agent went to, and he came back to CAA. He's back with the family. OG Anunoby is with the family. I think it would take a lot for them to trade Julius Randle. The only way I see him being traded is for Giannis, bro. I can't see any other trade that makes any sense. Why would you trade him? Like, and you know what? Before I forget, old boy, James Dolan, the New York Knicks, better not start talking about being cheap. How much money have you been fleecing us for? Speaking of fleecing, the Knicks fans been hobbled for the last 25 years.
Paying them same prices.
Come on, man. Like, you have to, we're on the cusp of doing something. Again, this would be like losing X-Man all over again. Like, remember, come on now. If we lose OG and he goes to a rival, no way. You can't lose Julius Randle at that point. We've seen this movie before. I believe we have a championship team healthy. and
Me
you have to
too.
keep them together.
See, for me, great response. If I'm Julius Randle, what I want to hear, what the reports I want to hear is from the Knicks saying, no matter what, we're gonna make this work. We're keeping both of them. I'm being honest. If I'm Julius Randle, I don't like to hear what I'm hearing, whether it's fake news or real news. Either one, I need somebody to represent the New York Knicks come out and say, ho, 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 ho. We are not thinking about trading Julius Randle. We are going to do everything in our power to keep both of them guys because these are our guys and this is who we want. So for me, we have to be careful with a guy like Julius Randle because I don't know if he has tough skin. This right here can set him off. He could come out the season terrible and just don't even care. So, as a fan base, as an organization, we have to be very careful with what's leaking out and what's real and what's not. Hopefully behind the scenes, they're letting them know, man, listen, everything is all right. Don't even worry about that. Because you got to remember, that's going to happen anyway.
But
So
would
go ahead.
you rather hear that or keep it real with me? If you trying to trade me, what's it looking like? What they talking about? Is Giannis out there? Like, let's be real. If you sitting there, you Julius, you go, yo, they said no about Giannis. All right, then, so I ain't going nowhere. You trade me for any, like, if you're Julius Randle, you tell me you traded me for Brandon Ingram. You like, for real?
I'm gonna be honest. If I'm Julius Randle, I don't want to hear I'm being traded. I don't care who it's for. I don't care if it's for the Joker. I don't want to hear that. Like he said, I was here when we won 15 games. Y'all wasn't with me shooting in the gym. Big shout out to Drizzy. Nah, don't do that to me. Give me an opportunity with the team fully healthy to see what we can do. But yeah, if I'm Julius Randle, I don't care who it is. I don't want to hear that. Not at all. Not one bit. Nope.
Wow. I'm see. I will have to believe he's more like you, being the way that he booed us, because that means he's reactionary. That means he's human. I'm a little more psycho. I want to know. A little bit more of a masochist. Let me know. Tell me about my pain. You, on the other hand, sound, I think, closer to what he's probably feeling. Don't let me know anything. You let me know when I get traded. That's it.
Yeah.
Because if not, it's gonna mess with my head.
Exactly. And watching him, I don't have no insight. I don't know him, but from the outside looking in, it's definitely going to affect him, for sure. For sure. I don't care what nobody say. Watching him on the court, watching how he interacts, that is going to affect him. And once again, I can understand that because, like I said, I was with y'all in the trenches. So you telling me I meet my girl when she ain't got nothing, then when she blow up, now you gonna cut me off? And I ain't do nothing because I ain't pick you up from work. I got into a real accident. You get what I'm saying? Nah, he got injured. So I think us as a fan base and the Knicks as an organization, and this is coming from me, and this is crazy. I think they owe it to him to get fully healthy and see what he can do with a fully healthy Brunson and OG and Mitch and see what we can do. I think we owe him that much. Seriously, I'm not a big Julius Randle fan. Everybody know that. But you have to stand for something. I think we owe him that much. He came to us, put us on the map. Before Brunson, we got to the playoffs and he was an all-star. So I think we owe him that much. But we have to be careful with everybody because of the injuries.
I totally agree with you. I can't see why you don't start the season with him at least. How do you not want to see this? To be honest, like, Giannis would be the only tempting thing for me. Anything else, I don't care about, and I want to see this thing start preseason, training camp. I want to see them in training camp. They haven't even had a training camp.
Can I say something? I'm going to tell you why the Giannis thing doesn't excite me. Didn't Giannis get hurt last year in the playoffs?
2 seasons in a row.
I'm going to leave it at that. Once again, go ahead and trade me for Giannis. and he get injured, or we don't win a championship. I'm not excited for Giannis, and I've been telling y'all that. To me, great young man. Is he gonna go down as one of the greatest players we ever seen? Maybe, but I'm not a big Giannis fan. I'm just not. As far as on the court, he don't do it for me like that. And like I said, if I'm Randle, I'm not. Like I said, maybe two players, maybe the Joker, maybe Luka, players of that magnitude. I get it. Anybody else? I don't respect that at all. And then even with those two, I still think we owe him that much. Like you said, let's start the season out. Let's see how he looks before All-Star break, before trade deadline. But I think we owe it to him to give him a shot, man. Got to give him a shot. Got to give him a fair shot.
He's also not family. I don't know what the contact with it is with him, and I know they were talking to Embiid like that. I know there's a relationship with Embiid. I'm definitely not interested in him. Speaking of injuries,
yeah, I used to be.
You know how I always say we have Professor X powers out here, man. We work in telekinesis. And Flea from the comments played a clip with him and Kevin Hart, bro. Come on, man. It's like you knew what I was thinking, man. I got Big Flea, never the little one.
You for New York Knicks basketball in the future. I mean, after seeing this run, after seeing these guys really, really pull together and become the team that the world got to see as well, just what is your feeling of the future?
I'm excited, man. It's my 5th season being a Knick. And, I was here when we was winning 15 games and, we were coming, scratch and claw from the bottom, to see where we at now and, to understand, the potential of our team, the opportunity. I'm excited, so it just motivates me to, head into the off season and really get to work.
And here's another clip with him and Kevin Hart. He's describing how the rehab is going.
Filling up.
Man, it's healing up great. I spent so much time rehabbing before. I spent like 2.5 months rehabbing before. So when I came out of shoulder surgery, I was recovering pretty fast. All my muscles around my shoulder and stuff were strong. So I've been healing up great, but taking my time, obviously. Not in a rush. But I like where I'm at for sure.
So there goes Julius Randle with the update. There goes the bipolar Bronx Zoo Knicks fandom that we got going on here. Christy Lamore, Randle ain't good. Why the hell we only win 15 games? He couldn't impact regular season winning.
Gotta love it. I love it. I love it. Listen, you are not a Knicks fan if you're not bipolar. If you're sane, if everything is okay with you, you're not a Knicks fan. Just unsubscribe now. Don't call yourself a Knicks fan. Stop lying to yourself. If you're a maniac, if you're taking medication, if you're bipolar, if you're a little off the rocker, you are definitely a Knicks fan. You definitely belong right here. Knicks Rehab, baby.
You already know. Now, I have to switch it up for a little bit. You guys don't run from us. Because I gotta hear this. I've been hearing a lot of talk lately. It's the Western Conference Finals. Probably gonna wrap up tonight. And we'll get back to Knicks Rehab in a second. But I have been hearing this all ball. Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic of the Dallas Mavericks are the best backcourt of all time. That's what we doing? That's what it is? Let me know, all ball. Dame dato.
Wow. So, when we talk best backcourts of all time, first come to mind for me is Clay and Steph because they won 4 championships, been to 6. Wow. Michael Cooper, Magic. Wow. They might be. You got Isaiah and Joe. Because now you got to think about it. When we talk about the greatest backcourts of all time, if you ain't win a championship, to me, that's the only nod you have over these two. You have 2 players, one that's 6'8", one that's about 6'1". Think about it. They the same players. One is slow motion, one is speed. They both can knock down a 3-point shot. They both got a handle. They both can post up. They both hit big game winners. I'm going to be honest. I don't see a backcourt better than them. Maybe Westbrook and Harden in their heyday. Maybe. But now, if Kyrie and Luka wins a championship against Boston, who everybody deemed the best team in the NBA by far all season, they might go down as the best backcourt of all time. Because how far do we have to go back? Because if we talking not so far past and present, what backcourt you see is better than Luka and Kyrie Irving? Remember, Mike and Scottie was in the backcourt. Scottie was the small forward. Even though Scottie played the power, the point forward. Come on now. Let's be fair. Scottie was the small forward.
Tisk. I was going right there, so I got to cut you off. Ain't no way possible. You telling me Luka Doncic is a pure point guard. Ain't no way possible. You telling me Kyrie's a pure point guard.
Oh, no, but they won it. Hold on. But Scottie Pippen's position, if you look it up, it says SF, small forward. Luka and Kyrie is either going to say point guard or shooting guard. Whatever we want to think, I'm going off the letter of the law. I'm talking in a literal sense. We ain't gonna make it difficult. We know Luka should probably be a small forward, but if his position says SG or PG, you name me a backcourt better than them.
I disagree with calling him just a point guard. He's a point forward also, Luka Doncic. That's all I'm saying. So I was gonna throw the loophole in there and say there's no way in hell you telling me that Scottie's the point forward. He's running point guard. And then you have Michael Jordan at the 2 guard. We're talking about two-way players, elite on the defensive side. And then, Mike is on the offensive side. And Scottie, offensively, he ain't Kyrie and he ain't Luka offensively. I'm not saying he's close, but he's really good. And defensively, that's not even.
So we're not going to disrespect Scottie. He is close.
He's close to Luka or Kyrie.
The year Mike wasn't there, he showed his offensive skill. He played with Mike all those years, so he didn't have to show his offensive skill. But Scottie can post you up. He can knock down a 3. He can hit the mid-range, and he can get his own shot. And he'll throw it on your mama. Now, I'm not saying he has that. I'm not saying he has the handle or the skill set, but he can give you a 30 clip. Now, I don't know about 50, 60 clips, but we got to stop disrespecting Scottie Pippen. Offensively, Scottie Pippen was great. Defensively, he just was greater. But if we're going to do the cheat code, of course, it's Mike and Scottie greatest backcourt all time. But if we're going by literal sense, I'm being honest. Because then now we could really do the cheat code. Joker and Jamal Murray. Joker runs the point. Yeah, I wasn't ready for that. Look, my fake glass. Look, my fake glass. I'm gonna put mine back up. Look. I'm just saying. Come on now.
And what I don't like about this, Curry and Clay was better than Luka and Kyrie. Okay, but if we keep it at 1,000, Luka and Kyrie might run more point guard than Steph with the ball in their hands, bringing the ball up. Remember, Steph was. You can't imagine Kevin Love trying to rip or guard Luka Doncic or Kyrie Irving. You kidding me? So I'm not trying to disrespect them. All I'm saying is if we're talking about what they did throughout the game, throughout their career, what we know them for, we know Scottie for being the point forward, for pioneering with the modern day game, actually. So he's the hybrid guy. And I keep saying it. Jalen Brunson, the way people hated on Jalen Brunson so bad, it made me rethink basketball history. Like, did we really need a center this whole time to defend? Bro, Scottie and Mike, they changed the world with basketball the way they defended. They didn't need a center, a rim protector like that. Horace Grant was some of that, don't get me wrong, but the pressure was them. They put the all-time pressure on everybody. So, yeah, you got Harper and
Derek
BJ
Harper.
ran point guard. Not Derek Harper.
Ron Harper.
Yeah, but not like Scotty, bro. Scotty was a mismatch. That's what was so ill about Scotty. Bringing 6'7", it was unheralded back then.
Flea, what up,
Big
baby?
Flea. He
What up?
put
What
his
up? What up?
glasses back on.
Oh, my glasses is on. I seen the behavior. You know, I come to restore order.
Well, let me ask Flea this question, Mr. Fabian. Because you know, Flea, his basketball mind got all of us beat. And I'm glad he on our side and he ain't with us with somebody else, right?
Nah, man, I'm with y'all. Y'all my brothers, man.
If we're just talking no championships,
Yeah,
let's throw the championships out the window.
out the window. Nobody has any.
Kyrie and Luka, the greatest backcourt all time.
Hold on, OG. Nobody has any championships.
Right. Now remember, hear what I'm saying though. When I say backcourt, point guard, shooting guard, or point guard, point guard. Remember, Fabian want to throw the cheat code in and talk about Scottie Pippen was the point forward. To me, Scottie Pippen, it said power, it said small forward under there. It didn't say point guard or shooting guard.
Right. But when I start looking at backcourts, right, you got to start talking about primary ball handlers. And Scottie wasn't a often primary ball handler all the time. Ron Harper, when they got Ron in that last three-peat, he was a heavy ball handler. You want to start talking about initiating offense, that's a whole nother question, Fabian. But don't say that Ron Harper wasn't a ball handler and it wasn't considered in the backcourt. Don't use Scottie as no. Scottie doesn't count with this one. Sorry.
And BJ, for them first years, he was their legit point guard.
He was a ball handler.
Right.
Yes, Scottie Pippen is the prototypical point forward. I'm not arguing that. But don't try to use that as adding. Luka and Kyrie might go down as the best backcourt put together.
Stop. Listen, you're being disrespectful. I don't know why do you jump in here and just be disrespectful and dismiss Scottie? Bro, who threw the best entry passes to Michael Jordan in the post? Why was Michael Jordan in the post in the triangle? Well, who was he replacing? Please tell me, Flea. Come on, basketball savant. You know who he was replacing. The center, the big man. That means he would have to be in the post when it was running smooth. So now you got Pippen at the top of the key. Who's stopping his long arm from throwing them entry passes like a big man?
Can I give y'all another name that people are just going to gloss over?
Woo.
J. Kidd and Vince Carter.
Very underrated. Very underrated.
I remember, and y'all remember, Flea, I'm just saying, if we go about a literal sense, shooting guard, point guard. I mean, Flea, they don't want to hear this, man. Kyrie and Luka might be the greatest backcourt of all time.
I mean, we can't gloss over Steph and Clay. Like, we can't do that, right? We cannot act like that they're not up there. We cannot gloss over Zeke and Joe D. Like, Zeke and Joe D have to go down. They got to be 1, 2, or 3 on somebody's list, right? So Zeke, Joe D, Curry, Clay definitely got to be at the top of the top. But Fabian, let me say something to you real fast, real quick. We've been watching the NBA for the last 5 or so years, and we have not seen a repeat champion in the last 5 or so years. Last repeat champion was the Golden State Warriors. Last back-to-back finals MVP is Kevin Durant. We might need to start taking some smut off of Kevin Durant's name. That's to you, OG. But anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. But anyway, like I was saying, the last back-to-back champions is the Golden State Warriors. Only reason I'm bringing that up is because if Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving win this year and win again next year, it's a different kind of conversations now. Different conversations now.
Hey, Flea,
now,
what did I say?
We got to go back, like OG always says, we got to go back to the list. We got to start redoing lists. We might have to redo some lists.
Flea,
don't let them win this year, because now they kick the door in.
I'm telling you.
They win again next year, they moving niggas around seats. Like, hold up, you got to move over. You got to move over here seating arrangements change.
Well, did you guys start watching Back to the Future or something? Why are we over here jumping around this timeline? I don't know what you're talking about, bro. I know for a fact when I go on YouTube and I look up the best backcourt ever, the best perimeter defense in the history of the NBA, you know who it's going to. To quote Flea, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen might put Luka Doncic and Kyrie in hell. What are you talking about? Mike could check Luka, and Pippen might be it might be something going on with Kyrie out there. Not saying he won't get crossed up, but we got two guys, all-time defense. He said Ron Harper ran the point guard. I can't believe you just said that, Flea.
Listen, man, I told y'all yesterday.
That's what he gets. Stop talking about Mike like that, Flea. I didn't do that, by the way.
I told y'all yesterday. Kyrie Irving, Dallas Mavericks win this championship this season. That means he'll have 2 championships. I know people don't like him and want to, things going to have to change. That's all I'm saying. You cannot be a point guard with that skill set with 2 championships, and now your name ain't spoken about as far as the top 5, top 10 greatest point guards all time. Remember, now it's not skill set. We talking about titles and winning. Things gonna have to get moved around, and people ain't gonna like it. I'm sorry.
Now, I know you got to run, but real quick, because come on now. They just swept the Eastern Conference Finals. I know they lost the game to the Miami Heat or whatever it was. But them Celtics boys got to give them credit where credit is due. Did Kyrie Irving and Luka all of a sudden leap Tatum and Brown as a duo? And they haven't even got to the finals yet.
Well, for me, I'm not giving the Boston Celtics no credit. They beat Miami when they was hurt. Oh, who they played in the second round?
Damn.
Exactly. They
Cleveland.
beat Donovan Mitchell ain't played the last 2 games. Then you beat Indiana, who Halliburton ain't played the last 2 games. So I'm not giving Boston Celtics credit for nothing. I'm being honest. Tatum Brown as a duo, they cute. But like I told you, Tatum needs Brown's aggressiveness, and Brown needs Tatum's skill set. And I'm going to say this. Jaylen Brown is starting to look like the alpha. I'm going to say it again. Jaylen Brown is starting to look like the alpha. And I'm going to give a shout out to Gilbert Arenas because we don't steal content over here. He said something that made sense. He said, why it's looking like that is because they're double teaming Tatum. He said Brown doesn't get double teamed. How do you feel about that?
I think let's get Flea in case he loses a signal. Ask him the same question. I'm sorry.
Flea, what's your take on Brown and Tatum? Is it just me or is Jaylen Brown looking more like the alpha?
I want to say this real quick. I'm gonna answer that question. I jumped out of here. I apologize. I ain't gonna mess the flow up. Out of Michael Jordan's mouth, he said little guards were the guards that were the most challenging for him to defend. Damon Stoudemire, Allen Iverson, Gary Payton, Terrell Marbury, Terrell Brandon. So we are talking about the guy with the best handle you've ever seen in your life having Michael Jordan in front of him. Good luck, Mike. Good luck. Anyway.
Before you answer that, we go back to his question. I didn't say Mike is guarding Kyrie for that specific reason. I don't want to see him get crossed up 35,000 times and embarrassed out there. Let's leave the legend as a legend and go guard Luka, please. Do not guard Kyrie, Mike. Don't do it to yourself. I would never ask you to do such a thing.
Legend says somebody with a similar skill set, just with a left hand, was going to work. And they put two guys on him. And one guy was getting worked, and the other guy had to step over. So we remember Tony Kukoc in the 92 Olympics. He had it cooking. And these two was fighting over who could take him. If I remember correctly, Kukoc was giving Mike the blues. Scotty had to say, all right.
Hey, Flea.
Come on.
Big shout out, Tony. Big shout out Tony Kukoc. He doesn't get brought up enough.
Not enough.
And that young man was great.
Excellent ball player. Excellent.
Yes.
Hey, Knicks 100, we are not bugging. You better go watch Marbury versus Mike and see what Mike said after that game. I'm tired of you, Mike. Listen, I love Mike.
Mike was Mike. Yo, that's one thing he said. The smaller guards were just tougher covers for him. He just had a tougher time covering them. Could he defend them? Yes. There's no disrespect to Michael Jordan. Calm down, my nigga. But like it's you know, he was just honest about that. That's what he said. But this Tatum Brown question, I think is interesting, right? Because it's all about approach and attitude, I think, with those two guys. I don't think that Jaylen Brown is a better player than Jason Tatum. Me personally, I don't think he's a better player. I think his approach to the game, his attitude, his bravado, his you could see the competitive nature on his sleeve. Like he walks around with that. And I love that about the dude. I love that about him. I don't think that takes away from the fact that Jason Tatum is just as competitive. He just doesn't walk around with it on his sleeve, right? And it doesn't help the fact that he lets a lot of these NBA defenders off the hook with the bag that he goes to. Like his bag is so deep, but he goes to a lot of bullshit that lets a lot of the smaller. He's 6'10". He's a 6'10" dude that can handle the rock, put it in the rim, shoot the ball, 3-level scorer, but he settles for a lot of sidestep threes, step back threes. He settles for a lot of bullshit that it takes away from how great he can be. So when I look at Brown, I don't think Brown don't waste too much. They have an issue with his ball handling skills. I think he's gotten better. Like this year, you can see that he worked on that. He's a different basketball player than he was last year. And so to answer your question, I don't think that Jaylen Brown is the better player. When you look at those guys, who demands the double team? Who does the scouting report start with? It don't start with Jaylen Brown. And that's because I don't think he shoots the ball as well as Tatum. I don't think he has a natural feel for the game as Tatum. Tatum's game is just really, really fluid. That doesn't make him better. That just he's 6'10". So it's like you could do more, right? Brown is great. I think he's the closer for that team, though. He's the closer. You can ride Jason Tatum 4.5 quarters. But them last 5 minutes of the quarter, Jaylen Brown's going to make all the winning plays. He had the block shot last night, right? And right after the block shot, he came down and found Derek White in the corner for that three that basically won them the game. So what I'm saying, he makes all the winning plays at the end of the game. So I think that's the only difference. If you asking me who's the better player, I'm going to go with Tatum.
Well, I'm going to say this. Tatum better be careful. He better win Finals MVP. Y'all can read between the lines. Tatum better win Finals MVP. Because if I'm Boston and I got to give him 350 and Jaylen Brown shows out and we win the championship and Jaylen Brown gets the Finals MVP, see you later, Tatum.
They wouldn't be a bad team, but you know how different that team would be if Jason Tatum is not there.
Get somebody for him. But listen, Boston got great GMs. They get somebody over there. And listen, they never had a problem getting players.
They don't, but I think you talking about somebody that if he just all he needs is the aggression and he's the best player in the league, arguably, that's just really what it is. And you're gonna give up on him right when he's about to enter his prime. Oh, please do so. We got some assets over here in New York City, bro. You want to do that? No problem. And I know his flaws. I critique him all the time. But nah, that's a lot of points. I understand. See, because for me, he's missing the crunch time buckets. I get it. End of the shot clock, end of the game, cool. but there's still 48 minutes in the game, man. He's giving you quality all NBA first team level production.
So can I ask y'all a question, and then we can go back to some Knicks? Boston Celtics lose this. I don't want to talk about Boston, man. I'm a New Yorker, baby. Boston lose the finals. Are y'all paying Tatum $350?
Absolutely.
As
soon as the finals is over, agent is at it. Just send the paperwork over, man. Send a DocuSign. I'll sign a DocuSign.
That's why I ain't gonna never be a GM.
They lose. So let me ask you this real quick, OG. Let me put you on the hot seat then. They lose this finals. You're Brad Stevens. What's the first thing you're doing with that roster if Boston loses in the NBA Finals?
I'm trying to do a Kawhi to Toronto move. I need somebody to get us over the hump. I don't know who that is, but I'm not giving Jason Tatum $350 if we keep getting there and we turn into the Buffalo Bills. I'm sorry.
Let me ask y'all a serious question. All NBA first team. Who was that? Remind me who that is, Fabian. All NBA first team this year. That's Tatum. That's Luka.
SGA.
That's SGA. Who else is that?
Was it Joker?
And who am I missing?
And
Giannis.
And Giannis. Out of those 5 players, who could you replace? Who is replaceable out of those 5 players on their teams, on their respective teams?
Giannis.
Because my thing is, if first team All NBA, that means that obviously the best player on your team, and you're a top 5 player in the NBA currently. You telling me that you could replace Jason Tatum, who was a top 5 player in the NBA, the best player on that team?
Fleet, watch this. I'll take it a step further.
Okay.
Right now, fully healthy, Kawhi Leonard or Kevin Durant in place of Tatum, they're winning the next 2-3 championships with that team constructed like that.
I don't believe that.
Okay.
I can't roll with that.
Okay.
Kawhi Leonard and Jason Tatum?
If you put Kawhi Leonard or Kevin Durant in place of Jason Tatum right now, fully healthy, with that team constructed like that, there's no question they're winning the championship.
Oh, healthy? Of course. But that's, to be honest, that's like, but you're speaking to, he's a killer. Yeah. Gotta agree with that.
18 and 19, 2018 and 2019 is ancient history right now. Like, it's ancient history. Like, it's 5 years. It's 5 years. It's 5 years, right, Fabe? But guess what?
Kawhi's knee is ancient history, bro.
Come on, bro.
That's like a fossil. Why would all boys do this to us, man?
COVID added another 4 years. So it feels like 10 years ago that these niggas won championships and NBA finals. It feels so long ago. So OG, I feel you 100% on who they are as players, but right now,
Yeah. All right.
No.
That's why we got to see, I think, Dallas and the Celtics in the finals, because those 2 guys, Kyrie and Luka, are competitive. And if Tatum ain't waking up for this, then I see what you're saying, all boy. But you can't, I don't think you let him go. I think he has to go through that LeBron embarrassment where he just, yo, bro, everybody's talking to him like, yo, this is all on you. Jaylen Brown sits him down. Like D-Wade sat LeBron down. Yo, we can't win unless you take the mantle, bro. Enough is enough. I'm not you.
Once again, we fade. We seen this in Toronto. I'm not saying Boston Celtics is not better than Toronto. I'm just saying we've seen similar situations. You get there, you can't get it done. You make that one move, boom, and you get over the hump. I'm saying now, if Boston win a championship, then all bets off. I'm dead wrong. I don't mind being wrong. I'm always wrong. But I'm saying, and I've been saying this forever. How long I've been saying this now, Flea? For a couple years. You cannot have this duo and don't get it done. and you added Drew Holiday and Porzingis, and now Derek White has emerged. Get it done. Get it done.
Flea, is he saying that Jason Tatum is just another DeMar DeRozan? Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, because I can't roll with that. I can't roll with that.
Yeah, I know what that means when I put my Facebook list.
I can't roll with that right now. That's insane.
I know, Flea. I know. I'm just saying.
Yo, I don't know. I can't roll with that. Damn, Fabian.
All ball said it and he mean it. Y'all want smoke? Put it in the comments.
Because guess what? Before Boston was running off to conference finals and all of that, Toronto was running up there too, getting their head smacked off. Yo, DeMar just sat down on the pivot. Every time he sits down with somebody, he always brings up, I couldn't get past Braun. I couldn't get past. Every time I see this dude sit down and talk, he said, "Yo, I can't get past."
I'm just saying.
Listen.
Go ahead. I also want to switch it to the Knicks again, but go ahead, Flea.
No, I was just saying, just to close out on that, this might be, one of the most exciting finals in a very, very long time. Just considering what's at stake for both teams. If Dallas wins, how huge that is for a Luka, a Kyrie. Now I keep telling y'all, Luka get a championship after being named first team All-NBA the last 5-6 years in a row, championship at 25. Take all that smut off his name. All the smut, take it off his name. Get all that garbage off his name. I'm telling y'all right now. But then on the flip side, Boston win. They look different. That's huge for that team. Huge. A lot at stake with this finals. A lot at stake.
All I'm gonna say is all of this greatness by these young teams and these young players doesn't make LeBron look so special in his younger years.
He couldn't help himself.
Next topic.
Baby, he couldn't help himself. Baby, he couldn't help himself. We have gone maybe 5 or 6 episodes without a LeBron mint. OG couldn't help himself. He couldn't. He couldn't. He couldn't.
I got a couple of topics from the Knicks, but I'm gonna read it off. I had Josh Hart defends Tibbs again. I saw that video.
He was sitting down with the pivot too.
Yeah, I could play that real quick. Want to watch that? We could do a little rapid fire.
Mm-hmm. Little quick takes.
Little Josh Hart sits down with the pivot, and he breaks down.
Big shout out to the pivot, man.
Yeah, I like this stuff.
They pivoted.
I love this stuff. Big shout out to the pivot.
Hold on, you know my nigga. He catches on quick.
Air Bailey.
I didn't realize he called all ball air ball the whole time. I thought he was misspelling it.
He was going crazy at you, OG. That's funny though. That's funny.
All good, my nigga.
Oh my nigga. Yeah.
The thing about the NBA, and it might be the same with, I think, sports in general. Once you get a label, it's almost impossible to get, to change that label or change that narrative.
Yeah.
So it might have been like that in Chicago or Minnesota, wherever it was. But since, my year and a half I've been here, man, it'd be light. It'd be chill. Like we probably went live maybe 6-7 times this whole season during practice. Most of the time it's more mental. It's more, all right, we're running through these plays. We're, doing 25 passes, figuring out if Jalen gets blitzed or if Julius gets blitzed, where are we supposed to be? And it's more the mental part where you have to lock in with his practice. It's not really physical. We're not running up and down. We're not doing much. And coming from me, someone that hates practice, I hate practice, bro. I hate doing this. Turn them lights on at 7:30 at the Garden, I'm good.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm like, oh, this is it. Oh, we good. Like, we cool. I'm chilling. So I think he got kind of a unfair narrative that kind of follows him around. And if you look at the injuries we had this year, Julius basically falling, someone trying to take a charge, he falls, on his shoulder, freak incident. Bogey, unfortunately, like Nick Batum, tried to dive for a loose ball, caught a piece of his ankle, freak incident. Mitch, stress injuries, those are tough ones. Jalen breaking his hand, freak incident. OG pulling his hamstring, he's going full speed for, to try to get the ball. You never know what's going to happen. So, a lot of the injuries we had were freak incidents. And then it's like, all right, we got 7, 8 healthy players, and then you mad at a dude for playing 6. It's like, as y'all know, sometimes the 7th or 8th guy or 9th guy, like, they're not ready yet. They might be, they have the potential to be, but they're at this point in time, they might not be ready. So it's like, you got to go with, who you know and who you trust. The thing,
Well,
who you know and who you trust.
Well, real quick, like you said, rapid fire.
Heard you.
Well, rapid fire, like I said, we can run through these real quick. I'm gonna just say, big shout out to Josh Hart. Love the pivot. Big shout out to those brothers doing a great job. I love what Josh Hart said, and I'm gonna just say this: when you talk about Tibbs, talk about the positive also. So when you talk about Chicago, talk about how he made Derrick Rose the youngest MVP ever. Let's talk about when he was in Minnesota. Jimmy Butler called them guys out for being soft. And then now, when you come to New York, you turn that whole organization around. So when you talk about him running the players down, also talk about the development that guys made under Tom Thibodeau and the great that he did as well. So talk about both sides. That's all I got to say about that.
What do you think, Flea?
Like Josh Hart said, Tibbs got a bad rap for whatever reason. Would love to understand why he caught that bad rap, but the fact still remains. We won 50 games this year. We were a 2 seed. All of our success over the last 4 seasons have been under Tom Thibodeau. So the mere fact that we even talk about him running players into the ground, him overplaying guys, right? If you listen and comprehend well, everything that Josh Hart just said just now was summed it up in a nutshell. Freak incidents, not incidents that were due to being overplayed, right? When we weren't talking about any of that, right? And I just think it's the easy, lazy narrative to go at Tom Thibodeau being that, you ain't got nothing else to talk about. I don't hear anybody else talk about his X's and O's. I don't hear anybody talk about his defensive schemes. I don't hear anybody talk about the fact that he's evolved as an offensive coach, right? He had to sit down for a while, look at what the game is, where the game is going, sat down and said, okay, this is how I can be a better coach. And he did that. So like you said, as much as we criticize the guy, we've all been critical. You, Fabian, you, OG, myself as well. We've all been critical of Tom Thibodeau, but there's a lot that goes with him, and he's done well for us.
I think, let me play this Tyrese Halliburton clip first, as he was eliminated like the schmuck that he is. But he talks about what he learned in the playoffs, the biggest thing that he learned in the playoffs, the biggest lesson that he's learned, and it relates to what we're talking about.
I think it was important in the, all 3 series, just keeping our composure, valuing the possession of the ball. I think being able to play the Knicks in my second playoff series meant a lot for just my psyche and moving forward, because they are an unbelievable rebounding team. And the way they rebound the ball offensively, the game 5, it was like, I don't even know how many offensive rebounds they had, but it was like that value of possession. Because when I think value of possession, I've always thought turning the ball over, taking care of the ball. But rebounds, I never really thought about until we played the Knicks. And I was like, well, that's gaining more possessions. That's like the same thing. So I think that's the biggest thing for me, is just understand the valuing the possession of the ball.
I love it, man. He's a student of the game, and no matter how long you've done something, or no matter how old you are, you still can learn something new every day. And it just goes to show you a player of that magnitude, everybody call him a great player. He is a good player. I'm not gonna call him great yet, but he's definitely super solid, all-star, all NBA player, USA. And look, he's still learning. So I appreciate him being honest and also giving the Knicks props to let the world know how hard we play, how tough we play, and how good of a rebounding team we are. But big shout out to him for letting the younger men and women understand this game. You learn something new every day. Big shout out to Halliburton.
I played the clip because we were going back and forth during the second round, and I was blaming Tibbs for a lot, critiquing him heavily. But I want to make sure that I've always given him props for that exact thing right there. Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers just got swept by the Celtics, and the first team you thought about was us. Once again, we were not at full strength. There's another clip I could have played where he talks about health, how much he feels like the healthiest teams win, which that's neither here nor there for me, but we weren't healthy. And we still gave him the biggest impression in the playoffs. And y'all want to tell me that we can't compete for a championship and we got one stud out there? So for me, Thibodeau, what I always say, his play style is football style. The offensive rebounding, get an extra possession, that's time of the clock. That, like, I don't see anybody else that really does this in the league. And they went out and go draft players and go look for players. You turn Precious Achiuwa into something else. OG Anunoby, give him, promise him to work on the offensive end. Hartenstein, another. We talk. All ball always talks about this all the time. Everybody had a career year this year who played. Everybody. This is all under Tibbs. So that style of play is what set that impression for a guy who just got swept out of the Eastern Conference Finals. And the first thing he thought about, not his hamstring, not the Celtics, he thought about us and that rebounding smackdown that we put on them. So props to Tibbs, man.
Yeah, I was positive for Halliburton. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. He's a front runner. That smelled like humble pie in front of him while he was talking in front of that mic. So
I love that look on his face. Paul, sweep his ass out of here. Kick him while he down.
Y'all know I'm a positive dude, so I love everything that he says, right? That lets me know that he's looking at the game. He knows what, for him to say that he did not realize how important rebounding was, especially in a playoff series, lets me know that he's paying attention and he's going to be better next year. So big shout out to him. But he's a front runner. I don't like his behavior. Y'all were positive. I'm gonna front now. Get him out of here. He's goofy. He's in the club with wife beaters on. I don't like none of that. Doing that. What are you doing? What are you doing?
You got the Halliburton app over there.
He ducked smoke the last 2 games. Like, beat it. You wore the hoodie after the game. You ain't even walk into the garden with the hoodie on. You ain't even walk in the garden with the hoodie on. Goofy. Out of here, man. Big shout out to Tyrese Halliburton.
He's a smoke dodger. One more thing for the Isaiah Hartenstein contract. So the max that the Knicks can actually offer him is 175% of his previous salary. Shout out to Tommy Beer, big time Knicks content creator, posting up a bunch of stats. He breaks down the salary here. The max contract we can offer the Isaiah Hartenstein, the free agent to be. iHeart it can be a 4-year pact worth just shy of $72.5 million. The first year is going to be 16.2, second year 17.4, third year 18.8, and the fourth year is 20.1. So there may be some sticker shock for the Knicks fans as making Hartenstein, who has made just 61 starts in his entire career, one of the 15 highest paid centers in the NBA, might initially seem like an overpay. Yet, as noted above, he has established himself as an invaluable part of Tibbs' game plan on both ends of the floor. So that will make him in the top half highest paid of centers. If he would have signed a deal like that, Flea just flew off the screen. It's all good. But that was a little hot fire, rapid fire. What do you feel about that? Now, do you have any comments about the contract?
Real quick. I just don't want to have a team full of guys being overpaid. I'm just being honest with you. You know, giving him 72, OG 150. Eventually, we're gonna have to reconstruct Jalen Brunson. In a minute, guys like DiVincenzo, Josh Hart. I just want to be able to keep everybody, you know, to where we can still make moves. For him to be getting 72, like I said, I would love for him to stay in that between 15 and 17, maybe 17 and a half. I think that 72 takes him at 18, maybe a little over 18. But I like Hartenstein. I want him back, but I don't want to overpay. I'm sorry. He disappointed me in a lot of games. He definitely was the man in some, but I'm looking at a lot of guys different for that game 7 in the Garden against Indiana. I'm sorry. I just am. Him, DiVincenzo, a couple of them guys, man, I'm very upset at. But let's see what happens. You know, West and them guys in front office, they've been doing a hell of a job the last couple years. So I ain't gonna do nothing but trust them. Let's go Knicks.
Yeah, I that's that last part I agree with. If he takes any discount on that max contract for us, because Philly or anybody else can offer him more than that, because again we're over the salary cap and we cannot out offer him the most money. Period. But if he does take a discount, even from what we can offer him, that's saying that they're all talking, they're all sticking together. That's Brunson. He's following Brunson's lead, who's leading by example, man, big time. So I would love for OG maybe to take some off the board as well, even though I know the NBA deal hasn't been announced yet, and they're probably all waiting for that. I know that they said they're in the fourth quarter of those talks during late Memorial Day weekend. But we'll see, man. I agree with you, though. As long as the coach is intact and he's shown a lot, he's around a top 15 center, the 15-20 range. He got to be there. So that's not really a bad payment, right? We can't name 15-20 centers better.
I don't even want to try. I don't even want to think like that, because then that'll just we may name 15. Now our mindset is somewhere else. Let's keep it positive.
You already know, man. Favorite perspective, man. Oh, ball. Big Flea, he was just here. He'll be back tomorrow. You already know what time it is, man. Where's the Drake music at? Oh, ball TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.